Voices of experiencers, and we are the experiencers of extraterrestrials.
Hello, galactic souls and cosmic travelers. Welcome to the Voices of Contact. We are the voices of experiencers because we are the experiencers. And it's time for disclosure and it's time for truth because truth brings powerful transformation.
Just what's out there in the abyss, in the darkness of the unknown.
We are the voices of change carrying the resonance of evolution on an expansive level. Here, fear dissolves when we step fully into living as bridges between two realities, human and extraterrestrial, material and multidimensional. Profound evolution is here. Profound integration is here. This is the Voices of Contact. Hi everyone, I'm Mary. I'm a channeler, trans-psychic medium, hypnosis regressionist for ET experiencers. I heal timeline distortions from trauma by supporting recall and expanded states of consciousness through regression work, activations, readings, and energy work. Tonight, together with our incredible panel, we're going to journey beyond the stars, diving deep into the mysteries of contact, consciousness, and cosmic truth. Because there is so much more out there than we even realize. And until now, we have only scratched the surface. Together, we'll explore the darkness of the universe and illuminate it with passion, higher knowledge, and wisdom. Disclosure is here. And so are we.
It's time for disclosure and it's time for truth because what lies in the darkness brings powerful transformation.
So let me introduce our panel of truth bringers and experiencers. We have Deb and RJ DeRoos. They're authors, the paranormal and UFO researchers, experiencers themselves, founders of the Michigan UFO Contact Gathering, and the visionaries behind Mystical Awakenings Radio, Mystical Awakenings Vodcast, and Mystical Awakenings Metaphysical Store. We have Deb Jordan Cobble, Deb too. She's the central figure in Bud Hopkins' bestseller Intruders. She's co-author of Abducted, the author of Extraordinary Contact, a former Indiana MUFON investigator, and host of Midwest Paratalk podcast. We have Dana Stricker, a worldwide well-known, respected, born psychic medium with extraordinary remote viewing and medical intuitive gifts. With this incredible panel of experiencers, researchers, and visionaries, anything is possible. Tonight, we will decode the unseen, amplify the truth, and create a field of remembrance and awakening.
The shift is here, along with profound integration.
Through my regression work, I have witnessed extraordinary contact cases. Fascinating journeys of souls stepping into remembrance and walking away from fear.
Just who are extraterrestrials and what are their plans?
Many of my clients have agreed to share the regressions here so that all of us, the listeners, the panel, experiencers alike, are able to walk away with a deeper connection, more insight, and empowerment. It is truly a win-win because every story expands the collective field of awakening. So settle in, open your heart, open your mind, and prepare to journey with us into the stars. This is the Voices of Contact, where disclosure lives, truth transforms, and evolution awakens.
It's time to find out with the Voices of Contact.
Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Nice.
Fantastic.
It's good to see all
Hey,
you guys' faces.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Miri. I love our new intro.
I know, isn't
Yeah.
it fun?
Amazing. Yeah.
I do have a confession.
So
I'm proud of that. That took me 6 hours
I
to
believe
get
it.
right.
I
Wow.
believe it.
But
wow.
Yep. so
Plus, we have Mark here tonight.
Yay. Hi, Mark.
Whoop, whoop.
Mark's
Hello.
like become a regular, hasn't
I
he?
know.
Pretty much.
He's part
What's
of
on
the
your-
family.
What's on your shirt, Mark?
Oh, it's Demon Slayer.
Oh, okay. I
Sorry,
can't.
sorry.
I can see it, but I can't make it out.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows.
Nice.
Wow. All right, so this is a continuation of the last couple of shows that we've had. So if we remember correctly, to recap just a little bit, there was a girl, teenager, in the woods with a bunch of her friends, was taken aboard the craft and then brought back down. And so at the end of that part, she was talking about the fire that was in the road that originally stopped them wasn't really a fire. So we kind of pick off there and we finish that part out, and then we tap into the subconscious mind to get some of her questions answered. So are you guys ready for the first one?
I'm so excited for this.
Absolutely.
The fire wasn't real. What was it? Like a movie. Wasn't real. And they just did that thing where they put you back in the moment when they are back in the car. And then I don't think anybody really wakes up until they're like halfway home.
So then they come to, so it's,
So that's,
you go into
so-
like autopilot.
yeah, how is somebody driving like that?
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. And they dropped me off and I went to bed. Nobody's talking. And nobody's laughing now. I went to bed. And when I woke up, I was bothered because I didn't know what happened, and I thought, did somebody drug me or something? Why don't I remember what happened? And it was really bothering me.
Because you knew you felt different.
I felt like I didn't remember something I should remember.
So remember about 2 shows ago when we started this, we discussed about this fire. Remember they were all freaking out, wanted to leave, and were backing up, and we had mentioned that it was put there artificially, whatever, so they wouldn't leave. Now we know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. So that is a really freaky feeling. My heart goes out to her, knowing you're back, knowing things happen that you can't remember. That is like the most frustrating, scary thing to go through, because you literally, the human brain, we need to know what we've done, what has gone on around us. And to know that memory is gone is difficult. So I truly feel for her. Of course, I'm thinking they definitely want to not allow her to remember what she saw in the tube. if you remember back last week, and most likely the swapping of eggs and sperm and all of that.
So, Mark, were you? Did you happen to catch that last week? What was going on there?
I didn't catch last week, but I'm starting to
No,
put things together on what I've been listening to so far.
well, and sorry, Dana, we're gonna have to mention this. She saw a mantis in the tube, and it's, and it could be like you said, Dana. It could be salt water, it could be anything, keeping this thing alive. But they were exchanging something between the person laying next to the person who's talking, and we were thinking it might be eggs and some kind of a exchange there, so to make a hybrid. So I wanted to bring you up on that. So
Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, I felt when they were describing the way it felt when you come back and you have like no memory. Like I felt that a lot because I kind of felt that way too. In the very beginning, I was very fearful and wasn't really sure like what I was experiencing and feeling. And it was during the time when I was listening to a lot of Dolores Cannon books, and I thought, oh my gosh, like I was thinking of the worst until I went through a regression and started realizing like what was really going on. But they also were like that with me, with my own personal experience, how she was describing. Everything was fun when you get there, and they seem to have some form of interactions that are pretty neutral, or where you don't feel like there's any danger or anything. You just keep going through. But when everything's done, they get really serious. Everything's like to the point, and you're back before you even know. I mean, you don't even know when you leave. So it's kind of like how she was describing. I definitely understand that feeling, like deeply. It's a very scary feel. So just like how Deb was saying, like my heart goes out to that as well, because that's not a fun experience to go through.
Yeah, I agree.
I hear Dana's brain going.
It is. It is. I'll just keep it going. Y'all know how I feel by now, so.
Well,
right.
I had to explain what
I'll
was in
add
the
when I'm ready, but I'm not ready yet. So
I had to explain what was in the tube because that made a difference.
it wasn't
no,
that.
it does.
It wasn't even the mantis, because I remember
really?
the mantis being there.
Yeah.
It's once again and I know they're not human and blah blah blah. I've heard it all. Da 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 da. But
The no permission thing, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. And the fake fire, and it's all like literally smoke and mirrors, so they can get what they want.
Right.
So I have.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
agree
have
with
problems with things of authority that may have power over me, I guess.
you. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
I respect that. Seriously.
When Deb had her maid experience, she was not happy about it. So
No, and I can't say that it doesn't bother me to this day. It does bother me.
I don't think
especially
you wouldn't be telling the truth if you said it didn't, because I can't imagine.
right. As a woman and somebody who lived through rape, going through this experience was very, very traumatic. And it wasn't because they mistreated me or anything. It brought back that whole violation, taking my body without my permission. So I do get it. I also kind of get their side.
I don't.
I'm not approving. I'm not saying it's okay, but there's a part of me that understands. It's been brought up. I think Deb K said last week, she doesn't ask the spider before she steps on it. So yeah, but to say that it's not something that causes a great deal of trauma, that would be lying. It does. It causes a lot.
I've just come with grips that there's not a damn thing I can do about it.
Well, that's just it too. Like I said, I have a problem.
Not that I agree with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. That
Right.
they do that.
No, I know.
As long as they have good
They can
intentions.
do whatever they want because they have the whole mind control thing obviously nailed, as well as creating fires that aren't there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're easily manipulated.
Yeah.
We are the spider.
Right.
I just got to hope they have good intentions. That's all. Right,
Mhm.
Mark?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's all
Kind
you
of like
can
the
do.
government. They're going to do what they're going to do, and you just have to go with that.
Yeah, but we can do something about that.
Doesn't mean I can't swear my way into the ship and
Yeah, that's true.
Right. I just wanted to make it really clear, Dana, that I do agree with you, and
No,
I
I
do
know you do.
empathize
I know
with
you do. I just
with all of
wasn't
that.
going to add too much about that because everybody's heard me
Mhm.
babble about that several
Right.
times.
But I mean, honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing to talk about on this show because, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with many, many experiencers out there.
With many,
Cool.
many different types of visitor.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Also,
So
Um,
again, some of them may be completely benign, others not so much, but we don't know.
Right.
I think we talked about this that I think throughout the years they've gotten better. Well, I don't want to say better, but less evasive, or people are talking about less and less bad experiences than good experiences. So maybe somebody told them, hey, show a little kindness, show a little niceness, and so
Or they just finally learned that part.
yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
That's
They're
true.
probably like, okay, we got these screamers over here. Maybe if we do it this way, it won't be. And it was likely me on that ship being like, but
they probably have all of that on file. They're probably like on their file with me. They're probably be like, it's a talker. Just do your thing.
this one uses human profanity to the nth degree. Oh, it's the Dana dossier. Yes, we know her.
Maybe somebody got a Nobel Prize for writing the book "How to Abduct Humans."
Yeah.
The do's and
Right.
don'ts.
But you get a lot more. It's just like anything else with human beings. You're going to get a lot more with honey than you are with vinegar, right? That old
Right.
saying.
Mhm.
Maybe they simply, even though they're not human, they have to deal with us in certain capacities where they've learned how to settle us down a little bit. Like give us a little bit of a universal quaalude, if you will.
Mhm.
And show us pretty things and make us feel a certain way so they can do what they need to do for whatever reason that may be without us being too difficult or upset, especially with children that get abducted. See, that
Oh, yeah.
disturbs me.
Yeah.
Right. And in doing this show, seeing cases over the years, many that we have seen anyways, the newer ones seem to be treated with more compassion,
Right.
more understanding. The
Remember,
older
like-
ones, not so much.
Now, back when I first started reading about this back in 8th grade, I think it was a few years ago, there was a count, and then all the way up, there's people that were in regression, just screaming, crying, like under hypnosis.
Mhm.
That's horrifying to listen to that.
Right.
Well, we've had a few on this show too. Remember?
Oh, we've had lots of criers, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not all.
No, and that's what I mean. They don't know who's who in the pew up there. We don't know which ones
care and don't.
I don't have any doubt in my mind. There's some very good ones out there.
Yeah.
But there has to be an opposite. There usually is.
Yeah,
That's law of nature.
well, you know,
Sorry.
you read so much stories and information about how the Greys forgot how to feel and have emotion. So you wonder if they do when they do their abductions, that they probably don't. Some of them probably don't have emotions, but I think they're trying to learn that. And I think that's why they're going through the hybrid program to get their emotions back and feelings from the human
Right.
sides.
Yeah. Well, and they
They
have
can
learned
move
that
mine if they want them.
they have learned that humans have emotions, and humans are very ego based as well. And I think that's why a lot of your newer cases, that's funny, Dana. A lot of our newer cases, you get them telling you, you're very special. We love you, things like that, because I think that they understand they need to work with the ego.
I
Well,
think
and
a
I-
lot of them
That
are,
ego a little bit to get to the ends of their.
Go ahead, Mark. What'd you say?
I'm
Mark?
sorry. I was gonna say, I'm sure a lot of these are different stages. It really depends on your soul. So sometimes, like if your soul came here to have some of these experiences, then that's why you're gonna have some of these. So our physical selves are not really enjoying the situation, might be against it, but in a soul depth, there's probably some form of a reason that you're going to have this experience during this time. There's also lots of other different things that you can look at towards how deep that, all of these experiences can really be. But I'm also with Dana, our physical selves, we have a really, really hard time trying to concept what is really happening and going on, especially when a lot of these experiences might feel very negative and might scare you. Then the experience alone is not going to be very fitting and, can cause lots of trauma. Regardless, it's going to cause some form of trauma, but the reasons why they try to wipe your memory, depending on what is, going on and why they're taking you, bless you, then that's probably the reason why, they try to wipe your memory as much as they possibly can, and how they take you when they do, because they want you to kind of snap to and remember the memory that they kind of made, like the illusion with the fire, to be able to make your physical mind kind of remember about the fire more than remembering about them. They kind of want that in and out. So it kind of confuses you, so you don't think that there's things watching you in that depth. So, I mean, I'm sure they do their best depending on what's going on. And RJ said something that was, very smart too, because you got to also think that some of them are also trying to learn, and they're also here trying to grow and try to work with another human. And how Deb was saying, it's a lot of ego. It's we are, operating in a different way. So they kind of have to come through, and sometimes they're a little better than others, and we get what we get when it comes to the experiences.
And I think they've gotten better, probably over the course of how many years now since people started reporting this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Travis Walton, for instance. That was during the heyday of the Greys, right? They were out scooping up people. Maybe other ones too, but that's what you always heard about. Now we've got all these different ones that people are. They were probably around, but people weren't reporting those particular types. But I feel bad for the human beings that go through it, repress it, forget it, and then end up with trauma they don't even know why they have. So they become alcoholics or drug abusers, or because they're trying to cope with something and they don't know what it is, and that's why we have Mary Bassett's in the world.
Aw, thank you.
Kudos to Mary Bassett's.
Mark, you brought up a good point though about some of us, and we don't realize this, and we don't realize it enough, that a lot of us had volunteered to come here at this time to experience this kind of. I mean, not everybody, but some of us.
Dana says, "Hell no, not me."
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying, to experience this because our planet is going through a very evolutionary time right now, a big step. So,
Yep.
That's a good way to put it. Yep.
yeah. So maybe we volunteered the part of us to come here and do that. So,
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that could come from both things. Could be
Yeah, like
could be several different areas of that with our soul.
yeah. And if we're multidimensional, maybe this is just one part of our soul that's here.
I think I'm all here.
So
I've tried to escape and no success. So
that may be true. But what I'm saying is, hey, I'll take a little bit of that, I'll take a little bit of that, and I'll do this and that and see what happens. So
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be negative when I talk about that, but that you guys know how I roll.
Well, but Dana, I agree with you that the way they do it, or the way they used to do it, or some of them do it, it's totally.
I do think they've likely, like the Greys, for instance, don't bother me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I look at one or I sense that. And I had that little run-in in Virginia with some 5 or 6 years ago. That didn't scare me the way that I thought it would scare me. It was just really weird more than anything else.
Yeah,
But these mantis things, on the other hand,
we don't know
No.
about that.
I have a can of Raid next to my bed. You might not be able to reach them up there, but because they're tall.
I'll bet you she does too.
Never underestimate me.
She's got one of those big pumps.
Yeah, right. Those old frog sprayers.
The tank, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Quit remote viewing my room, RJ. Inappropriate.
All right, you
Anyway,
guys ready for the next clip?
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
So this one, she, it's the next morning, and she tries to reach out to her friend to get a grasp on what happened.
So I walked to Jackie's house, which was a couple miles away. And instead of opening the door and saying, "Come in," she opened the door and kind of stood in it, which was weird. And I felt awkward. And I asked, what happened last night? Well, first we talked a little bit, and then I asked her what happened. And she just started screaming at me not to ever bring it up again. And nothing fucking happened. And this is a really quiet, polite girl. So that was really mortifying and embarrassing. So I never found out.
well, remember you were a teenager, walking 2 miles was nothing, right?
Right.
Yeah, I had a similar thing happen to me because I had that experience with somebody else, and they just poo-hooed it off and didn't want to talk about it no more, and said it was swamp gas and all this stuff. So I get that. Yeah. So
Way overrated as an
I
explanation.
know. It's like a balloon, too.
Yeah.
The balloon.
Oh, the balloon. Yeah. It's a satellite.
Yeah, right. So anyway, I feel for her being discouraged or upset about that because you want confirmation from somebody else that was experiencing the same thing, that it happened, and then you're all alone now. So,
Yeah, and I can only speak, as the person that went through it alone. I didn't have anybody else experience any of my times with me. But I never talked about it until 2016, and I was, dating RJ and all of that. And I can tell you that after I told him, I had to really battle with myself, because then it was, I can't ignore this. I've already spilled the beans. I've told somebody.
Right.
And I had told Beth right after it happened. And I was upset with myself. So I can see both sides of that. I can see the friend saying, nothing happened. We're not ever going to talk about this again. But I can also see the person saying, I need confirmation. I need to know that I'm not the only one that went through this. And someone else can say, I'm not crazy. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really difficult. It's hard, and you have to respect that other person's, decision, because, they know themselves more than anyone else. So if they're saying like no because they know that they just can't handle it, then I mean, it is what it is, and it's unfortunate that you can't get confirmation from them, but you can, obviously, we have people like Mary that helps all of us, find that within ourselves. So
Right. I needed a Mary many years ago.
Everybody needs a Mary. Good thing
Somewhere.
we have one.
yeah, I needed a Mary instead of Bloody Marys, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Come on.
The Bloody Mary helps hide it.
Yeah.
Keep it down in there so we don't talk about it, right?
That is very
Or make
true.
you sleep soundly
Yeah.
enough so you don't wake up when you're getting nabbed.
There you go. Give you a good nap, like if you're having a colonoscopy
That's
type
right.
thing. Like, just knock me out and let me have a good nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh,
tell me about all the shitty stuff that.
Catch me when I get home from the bar.
You know what? Getting back to Travis Walden, I think
Yeah.
I think he woke up when he wasn't
He did.
supposed to. When he wasn't supposed to.
Yes.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to wake up.
And he was a little bit of a difficult customer, as I would have been.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And they finally dropped him off. But,
Yeah, they're probably like, all right, we got to get this one back. Ah.
right. And it's interesting because, you hear the cases like Travis's where they're aware something's going on. They're aware that they're frightened. They're aware, and they run and they do all these things. And then there's the cases like some of us who you're frozen. You can't speak. You can't move.
Mhm.
You can't react. You're just there.
Right.
So that must be different beings. I don't know.
Or different methods.
Mhm.
yeah.
that too.
They might change their methods after, like I said, maybe it used to be like what happened to Travis. Maybe now it's, let's have her see, what was that one when we listened to was it a tiger that was like prisms? Beautiful ant. Like that would take, I love cats, so I'd be like, I'm going to follow that. Huh. Do whatever you want. There you go.
Right.
Like the holodeck in Star Trek, stick her in there for a while in the brain while we do this
Right.
on her,
Right. With a bunch of cats.
with a bunch of cats.
Right.
Doesn't get any better than that.
So, Mary, do you know, has this woman ever talked about it? The friend?
I don't think so. I think when we discussed it during the regression, like just in conversation before, that, I think she had gone back one time with the purpose of trying to make contact. But I don't think she's ever been able to make. I know she'd probably like to. I mean, who wouldn't? You know, who knows who wouldn't be ready to talk about something that happened 30, 40 years ago, you know? They might not care now. So
Right. And thinking back to, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, the person that we're talking with, she could see somebody next to her. So that, we have to assume that was her friend. But we don't know what that person went through.
Right.
Oh, that's right. I never thought about that, Deb. That's a good point. It could have been her, and she's the one that got all the stuff. So,
Yeah. Or gave up the eggs, or we don't
that's what I'm
know.
saying. She had all the stuff happen to her. But
Give us your eggs
in one basket.
in one basket.
Okay, so are you guys ready for the next one?
Yep.
So this one, we move to another experience that she wanted to explore. And this one was, she was sitting in the park. She was 11 years old, and she was sitting there by herself and feeling depressed. And all of a sudden, like, what she remembers physically was actually a man, but she doesn't remember anything after that. So she was curious about that. So give me one moment.
Why are you thinking about that?
That'd be a really long question to answer.
Just a lot of stress then?
I was at someone's house and I saw how someone's mother should be. And it really got to me.
So it was bothering you?
Yeah. And so I was sitting there, and it's really nice. It's nice and cool, and the grass is soft. I must not have shoes on. I never had shoes on. And I'm on the swing. And this hand slid onto my shoulder. And it was really strange. When I look at the hand, I don't see a human hand. That's odd. I never seen that before. I see 3 long tan fingers.
Reminds me of a chicken foot. 3 long, thin fingers. Looks like a chicken foot. Sorry.
it sounds like this person's sitting in a chair talking to you with their eyes open. No?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
They're laying down with their eyes closed, right?
She's always been really good at regression. Like, it just naturally flows for her. There's just some people, like when you're more spiritually inclined or you meditate, that once you get into that state, it just flows. And she's always been one of those people. Mark's one of those people too, where it naturally just flows. Yeah.
That's why we love listening to his
Mm-hmm.
When Mary starts doing the countdown, I'm pretty much already there by 5 or 6. So, and usually when she's counting me back to come back to, I'm already there before she's starting to count.
The way it works.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. For me, it made me really sad because it makes me reflect about how, especially if you're a lifelong experiencer, how much trauma you really do carry with you, combined with the fact you can't tell anybody. And then you add that into normal everyday trauma from a child,
mm-hmm.
it breaks your heart.
Yeah.
to think that an 11-year-old girl was even considering something like that long ago. So
I'm
I
sorry,
think
but
that it's important to bring an awareness that there's a lot more people out there as experiencers that feel that way than they'll say out loud.
Right.
So I
yeah,
thought that
I mean,
was important.
Getting some Morse code in static form, by the way.
and we're getting a voice that's not an echo.
Right.
It's a high pitched female voice.
Mm-hmm.
Or a kid. It sounds like a kid sometimes.
We definitely need these episodes analyzed.
I did say something at UFOCon about
I
that.
know, and nobody, I don't know, maybe nobody does that kind of work anymore, do they?
Somebody
No.
has to.
You would think.
Now, I have a confession. I've made this confession before. When Deb had her experience, she was really upset. I was like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, he's thanking them. I wanted to punch them.
Because I could always talk paranormal with her, but I couldn't talk UFOs with her. And so I was like, about time you guys came and got her.
She's in a corner rocking, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, thanks, man. Give me
Yeah.
a salad.
About
Yeah,
time you
I
woke her up.
literally, I don't think I slept for days. I did a lot of pacing, tons of anxiety. I was afraid to close my eyes. My ears hurt from,
I should say.
yeah. So, yeah, I did want to punch him. That was not, I will say now, I didn't realize it until I really dug deep. That was not my first experience. I had been having experiences throughout my life, but this was the first time that it was almost like they said, all right, it's time for you to know what's going on. It's time for you to know that we have contact with you, because we're going to give you enough that you don't totally forget this one. And then they stuck me with somebody who I had to go and talk to, making it reality. So back to this regression.
Yes.
Now, there was a comment in the beginning that she was seeing her mother for what she should be, or something like that.
Well, she was sitting in the park, and she had been contemplating suicide. And when I asked why, she had said it was too long of a story. But then she said basically she had gone to a friend's house and seen how a mom was supposed to behave, and that's pretty much all she said. So, and then that's when a hand came on her shoulder. So.
Okay.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
All right. So for this next one, we tap into like the message that this being has for her.
Calm. And somehow I wound up, this man is beside me. I don't know how he got beside me. I don't understand.
No, ask him what he's doing there.
He says I called him.
Then who is he if you called him?
He's not going to tell me. He's not going to tell me.
What does he look like?
He's tall and really, really thin and brown, like Middle Eastern looking.
Okay.
And he has on a light colored something, maybe a robe. And he's not making any sound, but I hear him. And everything is, it's not like, I can feel air and I can feel the ground, but I don't know how to explain it. I can't hear the sounds of stuff around me. I can only hear the sounds in my head.
So you're aware of the sensations around you, but you can only tune into the telepathic part.
Yeah, I can feel the air and I can feel the grass, but I can only hear him.
Okay. So what else is he telling you?
He's disappointed or annoyed or something, and he doesn't want me to do this. And I'm messing up their plans.
Whose plans?
So don't do this anymore.
Messing up whose plans?
Oh, this sounds really dumb.
I think that sounds more of like a starseed kind of journey where they're probably working with her in this life, and with her doing this, that's probably why they're trying to help her understand, like, please don't do this. Like, we love you. We're trying to help you and guide you, kind of feel. I didn't feel like they were disciplining her in a sense where they were sending like a really horrible like thing, but I think that they were just trying to help her understand that, you know, there's other ways to go about this, and we're here. We're trying to help. At least that's the vibe I was getting from.
I see that, yeah. I just realized what Deb would look like if she was a gray at the computer. That thing was, she's at the computer a lot doing that.
How does that make you feel,
funny.
Deb?
He sees
Now-
me as not human, I guess.
He's talking about laying on the grass and everything feels great, but is that like what they're making her feel? Or was she literally laying on the grass?
Yeah, that's true.
She was already in the grass because she was at the park. So I think
Okay.
she was just the
I
way
was making
it felt
sure
like
I was getting that right. Because I'm like, there, I've just told you that. Let's show her.
I think she was
Yeah.
more describing that, like, that sensation in your head, and like you probably recognize it, you and Deb both, like when you're getting like a message through and it's kind of like a whooshy feeling sometimes and you're inside of your head. I felt like that's what she was describing, where she was aware of the stuff around her, that 0 point, right, where you're aware of everything around you, but you're still in tune to only one thing. And I think that's kind of like where they took her in a sense.
Gotcha.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So
She couldn't hear
So, like-
anything else. She couldn't hear nothing but that guy's, with the person's voice or whatever. What the
Right.
ET's
So
voice.
physically, she was still planted, but consciously, her subconscious was not. She was in another dimension. And like Mary said, it would be the same as tapping into a reading. You know, when I'm sitting here, I'm aware of where I'm at. And I'm aware that I'm communicating with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but where I'm getting the information is not from here. And, you know, stuff that comes out of my mouth, there's been hundreds, literally hundreds of times that I've later thought, where in the hell did that, you know, why would I say that? Or, you know what I mean? Because it just
all the
comes
time.
in, comes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what reading is. We're getting that information on a conscious level
Right.
in a different, from a different dimension that we're tapping into. So that's kind of where she's at.
I think that's one thing we all here have in common.
That's true.
Things that come out the mouth. Yeah, I do that often, even when I'm not reading.
So if someone were to walk up to us and they'd probably start talking to us. Are you listening to me? Hey, where are you? Lights are on, but nobody's home. What's going on here?
Right. Yeah.
All right, we
But
have
that's-
about 5 minutes left, so let me play the very last clip, which
Okay.
gets
Okay.
into more about the being, okay?
I don't even want to say that.
Why don't you want to say it?
It seems really dumb. And for some reason, now he's still there, and I feel very calm and serene, and I'm looking towards the creek in the park, and I can see, I don't know how to explain it. Imagine if you could see all the molecules that things are made of, and they're jiggling, and they almost look wet. And the colors are so intense. You've never seen color like that before. And that's how everything looks. Like I can see right into the grass and the trees and the water. It's really neat.
Do you know where it's from? Can you ask him why you're seeing stuff like that?
He wants me to see that what I think is reality isn't.
So is he showing you the difference between disillusion and what is really actually there?
He's showing me what we don't see. The wonder of the connection of everything. You're not alone. You're connected to everything.
Amen. Now, did you guys catch that? Did you catch the yeah? I will tell you, when I asked that question and there was a yes, that was not her.
Really?
Oh,
So I picked it. I just chills just when I talk about it. That was not her. I heard it when I was putting everything together, and I'm like, interesting, because that was clear as day. If I could figure out how to play it again. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me see if I can play the last part again. Make sure I'm on the right one. Let's see.
Disillusion.
Right there.
What I think is reality isn't.
So is he showing you the difference between disillusion and what is really actually there?
He's showing.
So,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Very cool. Very
No,
That was interesting. Yeah, because there's no way. It's just too different. It's just to go from that to just right out talking now.
Yeah,
Like the
she's
voice
pretty-
would have
she's
checked.
pretty flat,
Yeah.
out blank talk, like blah 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 blah, not like breathy or
Yeah.
anything like
No.
that.
I thought that was pretty cool. I had to play it.
That
That's
is pretty cool.
Yeah, they're allowing her to see like a kind of higher frequency or awareness
Mm-hmm.
of things. Yeah, I mean how things are really, like you said there. She said connected. Stuff that we don't normally see, or because we're just not connecting that way.
And
We can. But
yeah, the possibility is that everybody has the ability to connect that way.
Mhm.
And I think they were showing her how it's done. Like when you get to that 0 point where you're aware of everything, but you're just infantless, right? If you learn how to do that, you can see those kind of things. I think that's what, behind that message, like if you do that, you can control the experiences because you're able to tune into it better. That's just my opinion. But
not that you need mushrooms, but I think mushrooms do that too.
it's true.
I was thinking meditation, but okay. Journey work would be the same. You see things that are not of this planet.
Mhm.
Things are more vivid. Colors are more intense. So yeah, it's definitely seeing beyond this dimension.
Yeah.
And mushrooms, yeah. Everything's more intense with mushrooms too. Not that I would know, but they tell me.
So funny. Well,
I
that
would like to.
that is all we have for tonight. But you guys make sure you tune in because next week we tap into the subconscious for questions.
Oh,
So very cool stuff.
yay.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Okey-doke.
All right.
Love
Bye.
you all. Good night, everybody.